What's going on, folks? I'm AutoMattock. Today we're going to talk about young Zeku's knockdowns. It took me a while to put all this together and try to decide what should I include, what should I really get, So we're not going to talk about every single knockdown situation, but the one I find more frequent, the one that's going to be more optimized the situations to become familiar with so that you can really implement it as quickly as possible and have some good old-fashioned step play. Fundamentals, don't worry about it. So, before we get started, two things. Your dash with Zeku is 17 frames, and your Tozetsu, this is when you do run stop, and this is 23 frames total. And we're going to be using those for frame kills in some of the knockdowns. And yeah, we're not going to get into all the knockdowns, but the ones that I find that are most important. So, first we want to talk about the medium punch, Bushinsho. Now, this move, you'll find it as a combo ender, mostly off of the bread and butter. The medium punch Hosanto, and then medium punch Bushinsho. Now, it's the exact same. Typically, there's kind of if you juggle somebody, there's a different knockdown state, but it turns out it's exactly the same thing whether you juggle it or if you just hit them on the ground. So, for demonstration purposes, we're just gonna go using it just for that knockdown by itself. So, as I mentioned earlier, we're gonna use dashing and we're gonna use the run stop as frame kills. So, first thing is when you dash with Bushinsho, that knockdown, sliding is pretty much your main priority. If you're gonna dash, your intention is going to be to, at least at the bare minimum, to have V-trigger and threaten the slide. The reason is because your slide will melee both knockdowns, and it also can crush counter. And if it crush counters their back recovery, it'll actually leave them in a standing state, so you can combo off of that as well. So, and again, this will melee their normal recovery. Slide here. Now, if you're in the gold ranks, and you get to where you do the B&B with Zeku, and you have V-trigger, this is going to hit, it's going to hit them! Because, I mean, you mash. Everybody mashes. You need to mash all the time, and then people like to mash, so you get a lot of mashing, and then that's going to be them. Okay, anyways. The other thing you want to do here is that Tozetsu. You do that 23 frame kill, and this is going to actually put you at less of an advantage from the dash, but it's going to put you at the accurate amount so that you can do a meaty standing light kick or a meaty crouching medium punch against their normal recovery. Okay, so to demonstrate, we're gonna have, let me make sure Cammy's doing her 3 frame normal here. We're gonna run stop. She's gonna do her 3 frame crouching jab. Now I can meaty this with crouching medium punch, and then go back into the same thing, etc., etc. And I do have to kind of guess that back recovery. If she back recovers, then it's probably gonna hit the recovery of my crouching medium punch. Street Fighter V, what can you do? Excuse me. The other thing that you can do is you can use your standing light kick to meaty them, even if they don't counter hit. This will combo. Your standing light kick will combo to the standing medium punch. Normally you can't do that, and this is because it's hitting later in the active frames, and it's as if you're recovering later. But it's just how the frame thing works. So off of this, you get the combo again, bada bing, bada boom, and then if they back recover, you can do a crouching hard punch, which is not safe on block, by the way. And this will crush counter them. And then you can dash up. Actually, if that hits on the second active frame, I can get a standing medium punch, which, let's test it. Wrong knockdown. I think that's hit on the first active frame. No, it's not. So yeah, I can actually get a dash up standing medium punch from there. And then I think if I want to be completely optimal, I can do another walk up medium punch and then target combo. Crouching hard punch will crush counter the 3 frame on that back recovery. So that about wraps it up for medium punch Bushinsho. Except for, I suppose I should demonstrate that you can grab them from the dash up, and this is back recovery, right? So on normal and back recovery, you can throw them because you have so much advantage, but there is some manual timing involved, a little bit of guessing involved. It's harder to manually time throws. Street Fighter V. So, one last thing, you can actually EX overhead from this knockdown, and it'll cover both knockdowns. It's really tight timing, but it will beat the back recovery, and quite frankly, it does 60 damage on the back recovery, so it's not really that great. But on the normal recovery, it will actually trade. Maybe not. Maybe, let me see. Wow, maybe not on crouching normal. So I guess standing normals, maybe it does. I'll give it another shot. I could be doing it slow. Huh. Well, against standing 3 frame normals, I've seen a trade, and you can combo off that trade from the overhead. Pretty sure. I guess not. Well, forget about it. Don't worry about it. So the next knockdown we're gonna talk about, I'm gonna talk about some of it now, but most of it at the end of this video because there's so much to talk about with crouching hard kick and then V trigger. This is like one of the most important things to know about Zeku in general. But for now, I'm just gonna talk about the basic things you can do off of this crouching hard kick. And you should know that it's a strong footsie tool. You can use it for whiff punishing, surprisingly good. It's okay at whiff punishing because it covers so much space. It's not the most fastest normal. I think it's 9 startup maybe. 8 actually. Am I the right character? No, that's the same Zeku. I think it's 9 startup. It turns out it is 10 startup. It has, wait, this is the old Zeku data. Un momento, por favor. What are we looking at? Crouching hard kick. It's around here somewhere. Crouching hard kick, young Zeku. Okay, so. Oh, really? Oh, there we go. It's 10 frames startup. Here, let me show you. Boom, 10 frame startup. Man, I might have to like cut that part of the video a little bit. 7 active frames. So you need 4 active frames to actually meet both knockdowns. This has 3 more than what you need. But it's also good in a zoning sense because it has that many active frames to beat like lower strength normal, so it can out prioritize them. And then when you combine that with having the V trigger available and being able to cancel that very late, it's a very, very good tool in my opinion. And then you'll see that people will start to neutral jump in anticipation. People will start to neutral jump in anticipation of the slide, and then in that case, boopity boop, boopity boop. You can medium punch horizontal if you're close enough, light punch horizontal. You know, you can have your own creative solutions there, but slide is really good. So you want to know what to do off of that knockdown. And there's no real trick to it, in my opinion. Oh, also, you can get the counter standing medium punch. Counter standing medium punch will also go into the slide, and this is necessary for some frame traps. So when you get to that knockdown, my advice is just to practice manual timing for this because it's a 17 frame knockdown on a normal recovery. Your dash is 17 frames. So if I dash up here, the best I can get is a trade. So I pretty much have to manually time this, unless actually there's some frame kills here that I can use that are okay. But I would suggest learning the manual timing for this. And standing light kick, I think, is your friend here. Because if that counter hits, you can link it to the medium punch Bushinsho that we talked about earlier. And again, you can throw the 3 frame if they back recover, but this is manual timing. If they normal recover, it's going to be even tougher to do this because they have the throw invincibility. Throws are 5 frames of startup, so it's a really tough decision to make. You really have to convince them that you're good enough with your standing light kick that they should not match, and then you're going to have an easier time throwing them. So that really wraps it up for crouching hard kick as far as that's concerned. But we're going to talk about crouching hard kick for crush counters and V triggers at the end of this video. So, up next, we got Ashikori. Okay, it's pronounced Ashikari. This is your slide. Now, there's a couple ways you'll get into the slide, and there's a reason why I included this in this video. I think it's important. The standing hard punch, which you can confirm the second hit of this, and when that connects, you can go into the slide. You might also slide if you're playing against Guile or even Laura's Thunderclap from full screen. You can punish that with the slide. Old Zeku, if he does a Koku and it misses you, you can punish that with the slide. So there's a lot of ways to use slide in a zoning sense and actually get the knockdown from it. Oh, and there are some frame traps. The crouching medium punch will combo off of it here. So if you do crouching medium punch as a meaty and then they block it, you can frame trap them with crouching jab. And then off of that counter crouching jab, you can link that crouching medium punch and then go into the slide that we're talking about here. I think that might be it as far as the ways you get into it. There may be a few more things here and there, but this knockdown is actually worse than the crouching hard kick. It's worse, but it's still sufficient to do the exact same thing. So again, I suggest learning how to manually time the standing light kick for back recovery. And you can link into that. Learning how to throw them from the back recovery, and then exact same thing for normal recovery. And if they don't recover at all, at that point I would suggest using crouching medium punch. because you don't have to really distinguish between both knockdowns, and you can't actually see when they're getting up off the ground. Crouching medium punch, 6 frames, 3 active frames. It's pretty decent, and throwing from there as well. Okay, so the second to last knockdown we're gonna talk about is Bushin Goku Sanken Shu, and this is his target combo. Now this is good because you can confirm into it if you do crouching jab. You go into your standing jab, you can confirm it to the remaining portions of that combo. I want to say you can use it as a 4-frame punish, but I don't really see it that often used that way, because this part can actually whip at certain points the medium punch. Let me see if I can demonstrate exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe even like right here. You see how my medium punch doesn't hit there. So in that sense, there's some situations where it's not good as a 4-frame punish, but you're gonna see this mostly from confirming off the crouching jab, standing short. You don't need counter hit to do this, so it is a pretty good knockdown. It's not as good as the medium punch Bushin Show. This is actually a 23 knockdown on their normal recovery, so you kind of have to dash for a frame kill here and to be in range for anything. But the good news is that when you dash with your 17 frame dash, you're at +6, and +6 is perfect for a meaty standing light kick. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. I'm going to show you a trick you can do with this as well. So if I dash him in a standing light kick, I can combo into crouching medium punch. I can actually combo into crouching medium punch. Now this combo that I do off of that'll lead into the slide or even medium punch EX horizontal, which is okay. But I can link into standing medium punch, but I want to show you what will happen if my opponent back recovers and I do the exact same thing. And they do a crouching jab. I'll actually punish the recovery of them mashing their 3-frame on the back recovery. So this same sequence will actually punish both knockdowns in a way. Now, if she did something crazy like a super on back recovery, maybe even a DP, then it's gonna hit me. But you have some pretty good options there. And as far as the back recovery, if you want to meaty that as the most damaging way, you can get the crouching hard punch. And that should be able to link into the same medium punch. And yeah, I think that is it. Oh, right. The other way you can get into the this target combo here, it's actually really important, is if you crush counter them with your crouching hard punch. From a distance. From a distance, you have to dash up, and then you can use a target combo here. There are some scenarios where this hits on the second active frame from far away, and you can link the standing medium punch. But it's kind of tight, and you're almost better off using the target combo. It all depends on how your normals collide with them, because you can actually hit it from over here. You can crush counter them if they are trying to zone into you, and it collides. So then you'll be further away and more likely to drop something. And the most damaging thing to do here is to EX horizontal, but it's kind of a waste of meter, and you get some good. You get a good enough knockdown of damage. So from 260, we got 298 when we use the EX shoulder, so it's not really that big of an improvement. So again, I would suggest just going into this knockdown and then using those meaties. Dash up standing light kick, dash up crouching hard punch. Now, if you do run stop from this knockdown, it's not very good against the normal recovery because you're even. You're even at best. But this will help you get in range if they back recover to throw them, which I don't know if you can really do that. If you dash up, and even this is pretty challenging, but it is possible. You're +5 here, so you have about 2 or 3 frames to actually walk it and throw them. A little tough, but it's possible. I did it earlier. Do a few more shots. If I can't get it, then we're moving on. There we go. Okay, so that's gonna be the last knockdown we're gonna talk about besides the crouching hard kick re-trigger stuff. Is gonna be throw. Nothing. So you really don't have much off a throw in Young Zeku. Except for slide, that's really all you have as far as the meat. Everything else is really kind of gimmicky. You can do the run here, EX, and the invincible part will go through it. I don't like it at all because you're purposely putting yourself negative, and you're spending a meter. And it's just, I don't like it. So this isn't a real throw loop at all. What you can do in the corner is standing roundhouse. Standing roundhouse is okay, but you have no follow-up. But that is a meaty. So in the corner, this is pretty good. This is better in the corner at least. So as you can see, my standing hard punch is not even in range. Standing hard kick actually isn't either. I thought it was. Wow. So yeah, you really don't have anything that's gonna actually hit them with immediate timing. I don't even know the actual knockdown range for this. It's really just you're making things happen off of scaring them with the crouching hard kick, and then if you have the V-trigger activation. Now, if you back throw them, you will be further away, and if they don't hit a button, you'll hit the last. Maybe this is different per character. I'm not quite sure. I don't know. Some characters I've seen it where this actually hits later, just like that. So off of this, you kind of have something to deactivate here. You can walk with crouching medium kick. It's a lot for not. That's a whole lot to do for not a lot of rewards. So the takeaway is that throws aren't so great. Even if you have V-trigger, they're just you can melee them, but they're not threatening at all. It's nowhere near a throw loop, which he doesn't have in his old form, which we talked about earlier in the last video. Okay, so that is it for all the knockdowns. That's good enough information. But what's gonna really help you go over the edge is understanding this crouching hard kick. And even I'm not gonna tell you everything that I'm gonna tell you everything I know, what I've written down. But there's gonna be a lot of things you can do with this. But we're gonna talk about if it crush counters and if you V-trigger off of it. So again, if it just hits them, well, first we should talk about the mentality here. Because you have so much time to cancel this. If they are blocking or hitting, you can identify it. The faster you cancel it, the better. But you have a lot of time. But conversely, when you see it hit and you have V-trigger available, you might not want to. Oh, I forgot one knockdown off of the slide. Okay, let me finish this thought. If you see it hit, you might not want to spend that V-trigger. Because then you're leaving that option available at a later time for that knockdown, and then you can get more damage out of it, you get more opportunity out of it. So let me I forgot one thing. Okay, so this slide, as I was saying, it's not as good as the roundhouse knockdown, but it does give you the timing for another slide here, and then you can actually link the crouching jab off the back recovery. And then here, this will crush counter them if they do a 3-frame. Exact same thing as when you dash up off of the Bushin Show knockdown. Medium punch Bushin Show. Right? Except you don't have to dash up. Okay, back to crouching roundhouse. Not bad, not bad. It's a long video, I know. So, okay. Should I do this in another video? That's a good idea. Yeah, we're gonna leave this for the next video. It's a good idea. So, that's it for now. Thanks for stopping by. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe. I hope you learned something. I'm AutoMattock, and we'll do a part 2. I promise.